Warning. It is the opinion of the Forestry Productions LLC and the Working Perspectives podcast that we should inform you that some of the language used in this recording could possibly be considered offensive. You have been warned, so if you decide to listen to the recording, then don't complain about the language. Hi, hello, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to talk to some real people about some real things, living real lives, doing real stuff. This is the Working Perspectives podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle, coming today by jdub, Justin Richardson, Strong Stem Steve Cabot, and we'll be joined later by Captain Jerkbeard Tom Lavelle. And the guest we have today is Omar, Big O, Cruickshank. You can find all our stuff and all our content on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can have us on Instagram at Work Perspectives Podcast, and you can join us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workingperspectives@gmail.com, and please like and subscribe so that my wife doesn't leave me. All right, Jalen Dub, you ready to do this thing?
Yeah, Omar coming.
Very nice. yeah. Strong Stem, you ready to rock?
The cheese stands alone. The cheese stands alone. Yes, sir. Let's go, O.
Love it. All right, let's get this thing started. Let's go.
It's our objective to be effective by voicing societies. Working perspective, exploring your day and how you get paid. Launching a new episode every Tuesday. Your day can transform while we inform with new episodes available on every platform. So check out our vibe and how we get live. Then do us a solid. Share and subscribe. We're just sharing. We're just sharing. We're just sharing. Working perspectives.
Let me tell you a little something about our guest today, Big O, Omar Cruickshank. So we've talked about this place on the show a bunch of times. We've had a round table about this show or about this place, the Henzo Gracie PA Academy. When I started training there, Cabot, you had already been there. Big O was there and established as one of the big guys, like one of the head big guys, but he liked when Big Pete was there because he finally had a big guy to go with, right? And him and Big Pete, they could go. Pete, well, you know, Pete's got the wrestling, so he could go. And plus, Pete, I mean, he is a mild-mannered guy, but he's got a hurt fix. I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it needs a little more time to come in, but Big Pete's got a hurt fix. He's got a lineage of, like, you know, breaking arms for, you know, bookies and on the docks, whatever, you know what I mean? That's just him. But either way, our guy today, Big O, when I came to the gym, he was already fucking killing it, man. And he was big, you know, a legend then, but also, like, I remember when we first started, right? When I first started, he was also one of, like, because there's sometimes when you come, and Steve, you'll agree with me, like there's veterans, but they're not like helping you out in a way. They're like, we'll teach you shit, but we're going to teach you it by hurting you, which is good. You need that too. But there's guys that'll teach you by hurting you, but also then teach you, right? And like, be cool about it. You know what I mean? And that's what O was. So when he was there, he was looking out for us. And then, you know, just a good dude to be with and hang out and train with. And he would always support the team and the other fighters. So, you know, then he had a cousin that would come along that I would hang with, man. I mean, I don't know if, well, I guess we'll get into this, but his cousin Jordan, shout out, fan show, listen to show, good dude. He would like come to my house. He would work overnight at Walmart. Then he would take the bus to my house. Then he would sit on my porch till I woke up and let him in. And then he would like fall asleep. And then I'd wake him up and we'd go to training at Henzo's in the morning. Then I'd take him to the train afterwards and he would go home. And that was like his day, right? And that was like, you know, but that's just because he did that because of like the work ethic that O put into him. You know what I mean? So I know this was quick, but I got a lot of stuff we want to get into. So I'm really happy that he came on. And this is, dude, I know we keep saying it, but I fucking preach it. Like we credit the caliber of this show by the quality of people that listen to the show. So when I found out Omar listened to the show and he was a fan of the show, it meant so much to me to have his support and that he liked listening and like being on, or like listening and like what we were doing here. So I'm super happy to have him here and, really excited he's here. Big O, thanks for coming by. And I would just like to ask before we get started, what movie do you think's better? The Godfather Part 1 or The Godfather Part 2?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I gotta go with 2.
Damn it!
Yeah.
Damn it!
In your face, baby! Oh!
I think it's 2-1.
I think you're right. Well, because last week, Emo, he said Goodfellas.
Yeah, he didn't really have an answer.
Like, Emo, what are you doing here?
It
But
was a
yeah.
fuck.
He was tripping.
Yeah. Yo, dude, you know what
But,
I love? Yeah. Go ahead, Justin.
I was gonna say, ask him what kind of Cheeto product. What kind,
Okay.
are you a crunchy or puff Cheeto product?
That's crunchy.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
See, this guy, he's batting 1,000.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
Kenzo Gracie's is batting 1,000 on the crunchies. Let me tell you. But or the jiu-jitsu
I
guys.
don't know what it says about us, but yeah.
Hey man, says we're not wimps. Tell you that.
And again, to talk about Omar. So for my first experience at Omar, right, first time I ever really get to meet him, I find like me and Mike did in the show about the round table. We finally get into the advanced class. He was already in the advanced class. Me and Mike moved through pretty quickly because of the wrestling. Blah blah blah. We get up there, and I finally go to the first couple of advanced classes. And at one point, I'm not paying attention to what's going on because I'm trying to show everyone that I'm a superstar when I'm about to get choked the fuck out because I don't know what I'm doing yet, right?
Of course.
And all of a sudden I hear zoom, bang, boom, bang. What the fuck? I look up in the ring and I see Omar and Uncle Greg getting busy, right? And I'm like, holy shit, what's going on up there? So I kind of pay attention, see what's going on. He's up around the mat, obviously. Eventually he sees that I'm a pretty good wrestler. Wrestling's my thing. So he's like, you come over here and I want you to shoot on me. I want to work on getting out of the shots and blah, 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 and different setups. I'm like, this fucking guy is going to kill me. Like, I can't shoot on this guy. He's going to fucking kill me. I'm like, well, I'm not going to be a pussy. So let's figure this out. So I go over there and start shooting on Omar. And again, like I said, it's a testament to who he is and how good of a person he is. And no surprise to me that he has his own place and it's doing good. And people flock to him to train under him. The guy was so nice, so helpful, so polite, could have crushed me whenever he wanted, but he didn't.
Anytime.
Like he would always make me feel like I was about to get some shit. So in my head, I'm like, I can't believe, he ain't that fucking good. I got him. And then the second he would realize I'm doing that, he'd push me down real quick. I'm like, I don't have him anymore. But a testament to who he is. And I actually had the experience of seeing your pops and stuff. And he comes from good people. He's a great person. And the way he treated me is like, I can't say enough about it. Like in that gym, like you just said, it's in those high level jiu-jitsu gyms, there's some guys in there who don't want to be your friend.
No.
So it was in the early days. Exactly. So for a guy like Omar to bring me in and show me stuff and not crush me every fucking day was fantastic.
But
so Omar,
also,
I hope you enjoy that because I appreciate everything you did for me when I showed up there.
Yeah, I appreciate the kind words there.
But
Yeah, it was awesome.
He recognized but also I think, you're one of those dudes, and correct me if I'm wrong, and let's shout it out now. So Crush Crew Jiujitsu, and we'll have a link in the description of this episode. Highly suggest you check it out. Crush Crew Jiujitsu, one of the best around. Great spot. Really good stuff. You got our man O here killing it there, and we'll have a link in the description. Everyone should check it out. Really great. But I think you have an eye for all right, this dude can go. Like, I can sharpen this steel kind of thing. Would you agree, O?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
because I knew, Cabot was going to be good. I knew Sid was going to be good.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Vanderbeek,
Vanderbeek.
I knew Padilla was going to be a monster.
Yeah.
I remember telling him that personally.
Shoemaker.
Yeah, Petey.
Petey in there.
Out of all the guys who came up when I came up, Pete's the best out of all.
Yeah, Pete's technically ridiculous. Yeah, Pete's good.
He got to 100 wins in maybe a year and a half, 2 years maybe. Guy's a monster. Yeah, him and Zach, who passed away unfortunately.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh my gosh, that's terrible.
Yeah, he died. I mean, I don't know if you want to die anyway, but he died. I mean, kind of where I'd want to go. Not that it's something I want to do anytime soon, but he passed away on the mats. He had he had a brain aneurysm. Yeah, he had that
Holy
condition.
shit! Right. I remember he had to stop
Yeah.
for a little bit at Henzo's and like stop coming for a little bit.
Yeah, he stopped doing MMA. And
I remember
he was on
that.
some medicine for it, and it might have been it was before COVID. The poor guy.
Damn, that's terrible.
He was grappling. He died. Yeah, died on the mats.
Damn, true warrior's death there, brother.
His a brother, man. Unfortunately, he left.
Hell yeah.
A couple sons behind. So.
All right.
Oh my gosh. Right.
Yeah, that's awful. But all right, well, let's liven it up a little bit.
So on a lighter note, right? Yeah. So remember how I was saying
now that we talked about death.
Yeah.
Remember how I said I would go to the gym and Omar would work with me and stuff, and he wanted me to shoot him, blah blah blah. So again, first couple experiences for the first couple months I'm in there, it feels fantastic. I think I'm really good. I see Omar and I think I'm doing pretty good against him, right? Because he's being so polite to me. Right. Then it comes down to where they go to give you the belt thing. And back then, we were saying before, Rich was only a brown belt. So Rich can't award you belts, right? At that point. So they brought down Daniel Gracie, Halls. Who else was it? Gregor.
When I was there, it was Daniel.
No, Hager.
When I was there.
All right. So Daniel gave us our blue belt. And then went on.
Yeah,
that's right. So Daniel, with me and Mike, got our blue belts together. We're getting there, and they're like, "Look, I think you were a purple belt at the time, O."
No, I was a
or
blue belt.
Were you blue going to purple? Right.
I got my day.
Yes, that day I got my blue belt, and so did Mike. And I'm watching O, and I see him going with Daniel. And for people that don't know, Daniel Gracie is a huge man, and just like Omar, I'm watching Omar go toe to toe with this guy and like really hold his own. And like Daniel had all the great things, but I'm looking over and I'm like, this motherfucker could have killed me any second he wanted. I cannot believe he was being so nice. I'm watching him roll with a fucking Gracie and, hold his own. And, obviously Daniel gave you your purple belt right there and then.
Did you go with Holes too? Oh,
no, I wanted to.
You weren't there for that when they had the seminar there? Because it was him.
No.
And I forget the three guys. It was three guys.
It was Halls, Igor, and Gregor.
Yeah.
So that's the day I would have gotten my blue belt. I got my blue belt that Monday because I was able to go to the seminar. That seminar was on a Saturday, and normally I'm at church on Saturday. So
dude, I remember I had a fight. It was Jordan's last amateur. And it was in Jersey, and Holes had fought. Remember when he knocked out Bob Sapp, right?
Yeah.
He had knocked out Bob Sapp like the week before. And then we're all like in the locker room, getting ready. And he comes in, and dude, because Bob Sapp's a big motherfucker too.
The biggest motherfucker. I know who Bob said. I remember the biggest motherfucker.
This dude knocked
big.
Bob
He was
Sapp
bald, right?
out. Yeah, he was in the longest yard. You
former football player.
Yeah. Yo, and dude, Holes knocked him out. And dude, I remember when Holes came in,
doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
God, bro, I remember I was
helmet.
like, what the. Like shaking his hand, I'm like, "What are we the same species? Like, what is going on here?" Yeah, he was cool, dude.
Yeah, he's an amazing. He's one of my favorite Gracies. Halls is
laid back.
A couple times I talked to him. Yeah.
Well, they say too, don't they say that his pops was like the one before the hang gliding accident and stuff, but he was the like forget Hickson, like he was the one.
Yeah.
It's crazy because like he was. It's Carlos's son, but he was adopted by Helio when he was little, and he's like a year older than Horian, right? So he's like the oldest brother, and he took a liking to Hickson, Hollier, and Hoyce a little bit, but you could see like his style, in those guys. It's like an attacking style, and then Gracie Baja, that was Hall's team, and like Henzo style. High-end, Half, like all like that go, I'm going to get this even if you don't want me to get it. It's all until I say it's done. That comes from Halls. So Hickson wouldn't be what he is if it weren't for Halls.
Right. Wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
Dude, I love the family tree, like that whole story. Isn't it the best?
The most influential family in fighting history. In the history of the world, the most influential family changed the whole fucking world.
In the history of hand-to-hand combat.
Hand-to-hand.
You'd think I can't think of a more influential family.
Definitely
not in the 20th century.
Kids. Carlos had 21 kids.
Jesus Christ.
He had 9 kids and 7 of them were boys.
Jesus.
That's crazy.
Right?
Dude, didn't they tell stories too of like they would be fighting in Brazil and they're in like a cage, legit like chain link fence, and they couldn't go up against a chain link fence because people tried to stab them through the fence.
Nuts.
Yeah, that was
fucking Valley Tudo.
Yeah, he fought Eugene Chihara, and it was Luda Livre versus
Yes,
Jitsu. Yeah, and there was a riot in there.
giant rivalry.
Because he got stabbed, and then one guy kept trying to hit him over the cage, and he acted like he was looking one way, and they came back with the okey doke and bust my man in the face. And when he fell, High grabbed him, and it was on. It was on.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what got it banned for a while.
Damn. I mean, dude, but that's because they treated it like fucking blood sport. You know what I mean? Like now, I mean, dude, I mean, it is like, I guess, you know, Hoist really kind of brought it, I guess, to America, you would say, visually brought
That's
it.
what I was going to ask. Other than Hoist Gracie, what other Gracies have won? Like you have, are there any other Gracies who won UFC belts other than Hoist?
No,
Henzo wasn't a champ. Henzo wasn't a champ.
Oh yeah, because he
won
God, Hughes,
World
right?
Combat. He won, Henzo lost to Hughes, and Hoist lost to Hughes. Henzo won
the Hoist Hughes armbar.
That was nasty. I mean, that's not fair though, anyway, because Hoist was what, like in his 40s already?
Oh my God,
way old.
He was way old.
Yeah, and he used the stuff that he wouldn't have that stuff if it weren't for Hoist anyway. So
true.
Plus he had to stand up. You know what I mean?
True.
So if it was like back in the day where it was like wrestler.
Yeah, if it was Ken if he was trained by Ken Shamrock, he wouldn't have stood a chance.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, you know, granted the ground and pound style is good, but you know, a lot of them kept their hips high and they didn't know anything about submissions back then. So he might have
nothing.
Exactly, it would have been a big difference, you know.
Yeah,
but
God,
it is what it is.
Yeah. I remember getting those UFC VHSs. My dad loved them. Right. And like seeing Shamrock come out with his stance and you know
back then I gotta admit I was way more into Pride because Pride got fucking everyone was on roids. Shit got wild.
Dude, what was Josh?
Asian people love Josh Barnett. How dare
Josh
you?
Barnett. Okay.
How dare you? Josh Hamilton. He's a fucking race car driver, asshole. But anyway,
he's an outfielder for the Rangers.
Yeah, I think he's a baseball player. But whatever.
My favorite by far was Wanderlei Silva because this motherfucker loves soccer kicking and stomping people. He was a psychopath on all the roids, which they used to say a lot of the guys when they tell their stories about Pride. How in the contract didn't say you could do them, but it said in big letters, we do not test for, and it had like and it was like everything. Country. Hell yeah, Japan fucks. Japan fucks. They out there to kill.
Did you ever see that?
By the Yakuza, so.
Yeah, the Yakuza. Do you ever hear the stories of like Rampage saying they would get paid in brown paper bags full of cash? They would come to your hotel room and some like Asian guy in a suit looking like he's in like some kind of movie assassin and would drop off a giant paper bag of money and be like, good job, and then walk away.
And then he'd pull out a sigh and he'd slice you a slice of pizza, and it was great. Yo, dude, what was I love seeing that the Joe Rogan clip when he talks about the stare down between Crow Cop and Wanderlei Silva.
Because he's dead on. Because he's dead on.
Oh, he nailed it.
Crow Cop's the only person ever that looked him dead in his eyes and was like, dog, I've shot people face to face. Like, you're not going to intimidate me. I stabbed the motherfucker last weekend, bro.
You're
not going to intimidate me.
Yeah, you can do your whole little wrist thing.
Yeah.
And remember, when the stare downs are better. When he would do the stare downs, he would get in the guy's face and like bob back and forth as he was like this close, grilling him with the meanest pit bull look you've ever seen. And Crow Cop, most people would look away and shit. Crow Cop stared him dead in his eyes, so calm. It was eerie.
Yeah. I like Pride because it was like the last one of like the masters. You know what I mean? Like, so where everybody still had their styles, like Fedor with Sambo, Crow Cop kicking everybody in the head with the I don't even know what they
left
call
high
it.
kick.
Kickboxing, because they don't call it Muay Thai. It was the European style of kickboxing where it's like boxing up top.
Dutch kickboxing.
Like, then you had Nogueira, who's by far my favorite. You know
Big Nog.
Yeah.
Golly.
So wait, I always mess this up. Their name, him and his brother have the same name, right? Big Nog and Little Nog.
No.
What is the difference? One's
it's,
Antonio.
One's it's Rodrigo and Rogerio. I forgot to say. One doesn't have a Dean, and one of their nicknames means animal body, like upper torso, and the legs are like human, and the other one is like
Minotauro. Minotauro. That's it. Yeah, Minotauro.
Yeah, Minotauro. So one means the head of the animal, and the other one means like the body of the animal.
God damn.
Minotaur and
so. The difference in the names is in the middle names. They're both Antonio Nogueira, but
middle
Antonio
name
Rodrigo
and
Antonio. Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They're all named George Foreman.
Yeah.
When you're George Foreman,
George-
you're allowed to
George
do that.
Five.
Everyone's like, "That's cool. That's cool."
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
I
do
love
want
that
to. What? Go ahead. Oh, what were you gonna say?
No, I say I love all that stuff. I like the history
yeah.
of like.
Hell
Oh,
yeah,
Dude,
Hell
it
yeah.
really is fascinating. Like that. I don't know. I guess I've never because for years it was almost like part of class. Like afterwards, it was like you talk, like everyone's talking, and someone just tells these stories about these fucking guys. Like that was kind of part of class for a while. So I love. I love dude, the bullshitting after a fucking good go. Like, oh, isn't that the best? Like your endorphins are pumping.
Yeah.
Everyone's fucking talking. Like everyone's like you're going over shit. You're sharing stories. You're talking about this. Like that shit is awesome. Like that. Like I think that's where you do get like the real tightness, real tight. Like that.
Not only is the endorphins, but you feel like you just literally made it out of something without being injured. Everyone did well. Like there's no real issues. It was like you want to hug each other. Like you're not trying to hurt anybody, but shit happens. Yeah. So like everybody to make it out good, you're like it's almost like you're fist bumping everybody. Like hell yeah, that was good.
That's the best way to build. A bond and brotherhood is going through a struggle together.
Agreed.
Rogan preaches it.
Oh, does he? Yeah, I'm not even a fan of
the hard
like
shit.
that.
Yeah.
But he not for anything serious. Like I just don't like that. Like every time there's a fight and somebody's mounted and getting punched, he's like, they don't want to be there, or this is bad. Like I don't like when he points out the obvious stuff.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's man, for the most part, and I like that.
Big promoter of the sport, which is good.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a big promoter of the culture, I would say.
That's the only part I don't like about is the obvious when he points out the obvious.
So his big thing, like he always says too, is going through hard shit, going through struggles, what builds characters and humans. So he's like, jiu-jitsu is a great thing that you're almost gonna die, but all you have to do is do this and you don't die. So it's like coming that close to strangling.
Don't kill me.
Being strangled and just being like, he's like, it changes you. It helps you build as a character to understand hardships, struggles, wins, losses, all that,
Yeah.
You lean over.
Where you can determine your own level of involvement. You know what I mean? You go 100, you can go 100 and still not die or not get your arm broken. All you gotta do is submit.
Yeah.
And it checks your ego too. I love it.
The ego checking is the most fit. Any person that always hits me up about, especially some of my buddies who were like back in the day who thought they were pretty tough, and I'm like, they're like, hey, I'm thinking about doing jiu-jitsu to get in shape. I'm like, please go and call me right after your first class.
First off,
and let me
do all the gas you want.
Let me know how it goes.
Shoot all that gas and then end up go there and just know your nuts are gonna shrink as well as your ego. You know what I mean? Like. Dude, how many times you seen like a fucking big old gassed up dude on all the juice come in and just leave like broken? You know what I mean?
Yeah, quite a few. I had a guy, he stopped coming in because the girl tapped him out.
Of course.
I was like, dude, if that's the worst that happens for you, you're doing okay.
Yeah, you're fine, bro. Like get the fuck back to it. Come on, guys. Yeah.
He couldn't, every time he goes by the school, he mean mugs my school.
Nah.
It's like you couldn't even beat the girl, man. What are you gonna do?
Iceboxed.
He's mean mugging until the door opens and he sees that girl and he looks the other way and hits the gas.
He starts pointing at him.
Yo, there is nothing better though than seeing like Dental Bill humble like a Dental Bill humble some big old fucking juice head. It's the greatest. It's the best. But yeah, so okay, so let's
reminded me of Smith. What was it? Mr. Burns. You remember when they thought they had an alien on The Simpsons? It was Mr. Burns, and he had like dilated eyes, and his skin was glowing. That's what Bill reminds me of. In a good way.
Love it. Bill's the best, dude. I put a story on our Twitter at Working Fee Pod, and I put the story like a Dental Bill story out there, and Henzo Gracie liked it and then started following our show, and it was the best thing ever. Yeah. So okay, so let's keep it moving. We got a lot to go over. Really interested in getting this going. So like we said, available in the description of this episode, we'll have the link for Crush Crew Jiujitsu. Awesome place, awesome stuff. If you're in the area, highly suggest it. One of the top ones around. Really good. But let's keep it going. So on the show today, we got Omar Big O Cruickshank. He was born in Ambler, raised in North Hills. He's a first-generation American. His father was a reverend and is a reverend, right?
Yeah,
Not was, is. And your mom was a teacher. Is that right? Oh,
she was a teacher in Jamaica and she was a nurse up here. Yeah, she's retired now.
So yeah, your parents immigrated from Jamaica, which is crazy.
It's crazy in the fact, like, why would you ever leave? What part of Jamaica?
Different parts. So my father's from a parish called St. Thomas. It's like an hour outside of Kingston, and my mother is from Barrowtown, which is like right outside of Montego.
Okay.
Yeah. And my mom's whole side of her family is they actually came up here through the same house. Do you know Ambler pretty well?
Kinda. Like Ambler, Abington, right?
Yeah.
Are they next to each other?
Yeah, kind. No, not really.
Maybe I don't know Ambler.
Like it's what's close to
sorry about that, guys.
I guess Lansdale's like Lansdale's kind of close to Ambler.
I know Lansdale, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like the next stop, I guess. There's like
you don't know where North Hills is?
I can't.
I
like
Ambler.
North
can't
Hills,
think where
Penland.
Ambler is.
Yeah, well, North Hills. If somebody doesn't know where North Hills is, that's fine because it's only like 4.5 streets. It's the black part of Upper Dublin. But what I was saying was Ambler. There's it used to be a pub called Forest and Main Pub.
Okay.
In Ambler. That was my aunt's house, and all my family on my mother's side, like all of them, came up through that house. You know, and my father came up. You know, after he married my mother, they came up through that house also.
Nice.
Yeah, so we were all in Ambler at one point.
So so your parents immigrated from Jamaica. You're all hanging out in the house doing your thing. And so you're coming up. And so you came up through the Upper Dublin school system. You did get like you're doing that. And then you ended up going to Lakeside for a little bit. Just needed a little checkup, right? And then
only 3 years. Yeah.
Straighten out.
So
Do you just to interrupt real quick. Do you know why your parents picked Pennsylvania?
Ooh, good question.
Just because my aunt's house. Like
so just
family.
To meet up with family.
Didn't even know like other states anyway. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I couldn't tell you a state in Jamaica.
No way, because there are no states. I think it's just parish.
Okay.
Yeah. So my aunt, like I know, I know my ancestors kind of like up to my great grandmother, a little bit past her. But my aunt, she's one of 10, my grandmother being her oldest sibling. So all her siblings came up through that house. My great grandmother, Telon, she came up here also. She used to babysit me. She passed away when she was 104.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy.
So wait,
she was alive when
and you're saying that house at Forest and Main? That's that house, the one that's that like pub now? Yeah.
It's got the little
that's crazy. I see it all the time because I coach it with Sahik, blah blah blah. But that's crazy.
Yeah, that's the house we all came up through.
Wow.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Dude, that's fun though when you're living in a place like that, right?
Well, yeah. So they end up losing it by accident. Like, so they moved down to Florida, but they plan to keep the house. I mean, to us, it's a historical house. You know what I mean?
Sure. Hell yeah.
Happened to fall behind their taxes by accident, and when they tried to send the money up, I mean,
it's too late.
Yeah, they just missed it. By like a week.
Yeah. That's a bummer. So okay, so you're doing like you're going through the Upper Dublin Lakeside. Do you want to say why did you end up going to Lakeside?
So my mom sent me to Lakeside. So Lakeside's supposed to be like a bad school.
Yeah.
And before that, I got sent to Valley Forge. I had horrible grades.
Okay.
In school. Very horrible grades. I got dysgraphia. It's a learning disability.
Yeah.
Which is like I always did good in verbal discussions and things like that, and I could comprehend things. But pen to paper is like I might as well be writing with my finger, instead of a pencil.
Yeah.
But back then they called it lazy. I didn't find out what it was until about like 5 years ago.
Back then they were just like, what? Yeah, they're just like, you're dumb.
Lazy.
Dude, back then be like, oh, you can't concentrate while we're reading Confessions of Charlotte Doyle, then you must be stupid. No, I got a little ADHD, and the shit you're saying is fucking boring. That's what it is. Fucking, you can't keep my attention.
When's recess?
Yeah.
So I always did good, like I said, in like the discussions and things like that. But as soon as it came time to write it down or homework, it wasn't happening. So the guidance counselor actually told my parents in 8th grade that I had the worst grade in Pennsylvania. Like I failed gym and all that. I was just,
fuck that guy.
Yeah.
I could beat him up now.
Yo, tell me one thing a guidance counselor's ever done to better society. I don't know
Nothing.
what
They talk
the fuck.
shit to me a million times. Told me I suck and I'll end up in jail. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Were they wrong?
Completely wrong on that.
Fuck them.
No, fuck them is right.
I can beat them up now.
Yeah.
There you go.
I had one where it's like, they ask you what you want to be, and I legit told her, I was like, trash man's a good job.
Star.
They make good money. And then I told her I was like a movie film critic, and she was like, "You're just stupid. Those are." I was like,
oh, man.
Fuck that lady.
I was like, all
Your
right,
dreams are dumb. You have dumb dreams. Get out of my office.
Your dreams are as trash as the job you want. You bozo. Yeah. So sorry. Oh, so you got all these bad grades, right?
Yeah.
And so did she send you to Valley Forge Military Academy?
She did, yeah. So I failed in ninth grade. I failed, and I was like half in ninth and half in 10th, right? I had to go to summer school to get it up.
Yeah.
The next year, so they sent me to Valley Forge to give me some structure or whatever. I didn't last long there. I was there long enough for them not to get their money back.
Yeah.
Alumni Larry Fitzgerald went there.
Yeah.
Yep. Shout out Larry Fitz.
Yes, he
Fan
did.
of the show.
Fan of the show, listener of the show.
Shout out Larry.
Yeah, he did go there. I didn't last. I was in Charlie Company. All thing I remember about that place was the cake that you got at lunchtime.
Hell yeah.
So I came back after I came back to Upper Dublin, and my sister had a bully in the middle school. And
how old were you at this time?
I was, it was 96. So I was almost 15, somewhere around there.
You're in 10th grade?
Yeah. Yeah, I was in 9th, 10th
grade. Yeah. And there's some bozo clowning on your sister.
Yeah. Well, it was a girl.
How much
younger is your sister?
How much younger is your sister than you?
Like 2 years, a little.
Okay.
Yeah, around 2 years. Yeah.
I got you.
Right.
And my sister's way tougher than me. She's
she
tells people she made me the man I am today.
Yes. Love it.
Shout out your sister.
Shout out.
I can't. She'll get upset if I said some of the things that she did to me. She's younger. Yeah, she's tough. She stabbed me with a pencil in my sternum.
Hell yeah.
Hey, man.
Got shanked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cruickshank got shanked. Yep.
In your own crib.
Yo, that's funny.
So the girl kept messing with her, and my sister, she pulled out it was like a nail file, and the girl said she had a knife.
Yeah.
And when my sister was younger, so she actually pulled a knife out and tried to stab somebody when she was in 4th grade.
There's a history here. There's a
pencil.
pencil.
It probably fucking deserved it.
Yeah. It was like her, the kid tripped her, But
motherfucker, yeah.
Now you get stabbed.
It's the old adage. Fuck around.
Issues, so I kind of messed with her a little bit,
Yeah.
And thank God she didn't stab him. She caught the top of his shirt, she cut his shirt, or it probably would have been worse. But they considered the nail file like her second offense. So she was getting sent to time. You know what I mean?
Holy shit.
And she was just trying to get the girl to leave her alone. My sister, it is what it is. She was on thyroid medication, so that wasn't an issue for her as soon as they figured out what that was. And she's just a girl trying to be a girl, trying to live life.
Women are crazy, right? I mean, we all know women that have attempted to kill all of us. It's just what they do.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Yeah. They like to end life.
Yeah.
They give life and they end life.
Don't be upset when she sees this that I brought it up, but she's my best friend now. So
every one of our moms has told us that they brought us into this world and they'll take us out, right? I don't know how many times I heard that.
I created you in a moment of passion, and I will take you out with one.
My dad
Shout out,
my sister. She was so rough when we were little, because I never hit girls, right?
Yeah.
But she didn't feel that same way about me, so she beat me up all the time. And I would just sit there and smile. And my mom, she was like, "Yo, you gotta hit her back." She was like, "Yo, you gotta stick up for yourself now."
Yeah.
And that's how bad it was. I punched my sister in the stomach, man. I hit her right in her bread basket, and it felt good. It felt like I hit her spine or whatever.
Ooh.
I was only I might have been 10 or 11. It was getting to the point. My mom,
yeah.
And she ran in the house. and I thought I won, and she came out with a metal hanger and beat me with the hanger. Yeah. That's the way my sister,
Hey,
is.
man.
So she was getting sent to Lakeside.
Okay.
And my mom went and checked it out, and they had like smaller classes and all that stuff.
Nice.
And she was like, you're going there too.
Nice.
It wasn't to protect my sister because my sister was.
She didn't need no protection.
Yeah.
If anything, she's protecting you.
Pretty much, yeah. So she only stayed there. She stayed there. Let's see, we went December '96, and she stayed there till the end of the school year.
Okay.
And I stayed there. My diploma's Upper Dublin, but I still only thing I did at Upper Dublin was play football.
Yeah.
The rest of my time from '96 till I graduated '99.
Does Lakeside have a football team?
No, Upper Dublin. So you still
you're still considered Upper
stuff.
Dublin?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
I graduated Upper Dublin.
All right. So you would go to Upper Dublin after school, and that's where you would.
Exactly.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, it was the best. Lakeside is the best. They had pool tables in their gym. They had
nice.
You can play table tennis, basketball court, video games, all that stuff. You went to school later, like a van picked you up.
Oh,
I loved it, man.
Dude, nice, man. Good, dude. That's glad to hear that, because it did have a rap of being whatever. That one was Lakeside was a whatever kind of that's a rough.
That's where the bad kids went. It's when you got kicked out of public school, you had to go there.
Yeah, but then there was Glen Mills is where you went.
Glen Mills was the next level.
Yeah,
yeah.
And then,
Ian went to Glen Mills,
and then Camp Adams is where you went if they're you were done with your shit, and that's where Liam went
and all that.
Oof.
Yeah,
he was telling us about Camp Adams. I was like, damn, I wouldn't want to do that now. Liam Reese, he was on the show a couple weeks ago.
He's on the Poppin'.
And he's co-host on the Poppin'. Love him.
Okay.
But okay, so let's keep moving. So
that's where I met my wife too, was at Lakeside.
Oh, nice. Well, dude, there you go.
She was supposed to
love
be there.
blossoms.
Yeah. You guys might know her. When did you guys graduate?
I know her. I met her when we were hanging out. She graduated with me.
Yeah.
So these two are younger than me, but yeah, she graduated with me.
I graduated.
I think that's when she graduated. 02.
She was 02. 02.
Yeah, 02. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So all right. So you graduate from Lakeside. And then you were supposed to play football at Temple. What happened there?
Temple, yeah. I didn't get my grades back up. Yeah. The coach, and it's crazy because Upper Dublin, they got a weird history of not helping out their black players with anything or anything like that. Whatever. It just is what it is. I'm not even knocking Upper Dublin. It's just it is what it is.
They're a rival of Wissahickon, so fuck them. I'm with you. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
They got they don't. They always try to put black kids lower tracks, all different types of weird stuff. It's an ongoing.
A lot of rich whites at Upper Dublin. A lot of rich whites at Upper Dublin.
I mean, which is we all get along. It's not you know what I mean?
It is.
That's a school system thing. That's not a us against the student. We all the guys who I went to Upper Dublin with are that's my people. You know what I mean? We all grow up together. You know. But yeah, they're notorious for stuff like that. So it was actually the Wissahickon coach that got
shout out Wiss. We're back.
Yeah, they actually looked out for me.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to get my grades up at Monaco, and I did not do that. So. Yeah, I actually did want to. I treated Monaco like it was a hangout.
Yeah,
it was 13th grade.
Yeah.
Strolling in.
What position did you play in football? Oh, because I'm
gonna say tackle.
Well, I'll say this. Do you remember seeing when we saw each other at the Eagles game the one time? Right?
Yeah, against the Cowboys.
I believe you're right. So I was in my seats, right? And the way where my seats were, we were right by the landing where you come up the stairs to go, to your seat.
Oh, it's on top,
yeah, exactly. And I was there and I saw coming up. I was like, yo, Omar, right? And you came over and we dapped up, said what's up. And as soon as you kept going, 3 people were like, yo, why the fuck isn't he playing right now? You know what I mean? I was like, I was like, you don't even know. You don't even need the pads. But
nope.
But either way, so you played offensive line, you were tackle?
Defensive line. I was defensive tackle.
Oh, tackle. Yeah. Nice.
He's way too mean to be he got too many skills to attack.
I would say I could see that.
I got that killer instinct. Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
I ended up just playing a little semi-pro, nothing big. And that's why when you guys met me, I had like messed up elbows. I don't know if you guys remember any.
You used to rock the elbow pads. religiously.
Yeah,
The husky
yeah.
joint.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I got that from playing semi-pro. Yeah.
Okay. Where did you play semi-pro at?
I played for the UFL. It was a team called the Philadelphia Celts.
Oh,
And
nice.
we
Celts?
lost. Yeah, we only won one game, and I was not in that game. I got kicked out of the game before. So,
What?
yeah, I tried to fight a couple people on the other team.
Hell yeah.
He's a man of passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, when the blood's up, the blood's up, baby. You know,
Dog,
like,
They called me little guy, and I didn't like that. Yeah, I was pissed. Yeah.
called you little guy?
Yeah. So at the time, I like last time you saw me, like I'm bigger now. I never back then I was like 270. I was on point.
Yeah, you were tiny. Yeah.
Yeah. Compared to them, I was tiny. I was like the
No,
smallest guy
I'm
on
kidding.
Any line that we played against, I was the smallest guy.
Yeah.
He's the guy that was 410 pounds.
Oh.
Yeah, he was a monster. Yeah, and the biggest center I played against, he was 6'5", 400 pounds. Yeah.
Oh.
400, dude. How are
that's
they?
what
Are
I
they
was
moving at 400 pounds?
Yeah, anybody can go back.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You gotta go for a step. Yeah.
Yep. Back
Yeah,
My
pedal.
body hurt, but that's how
Yeah, he's
that's
got
my
200
elbows
pounds.
up. Yeah, so I try to fight a couple of them. The center on it was a team called the Warriors, and the center he kept like he would go like ha 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 like laugh at me. Every time I tried to line him up, and
Yeah.
I had enough, and I
Hey,
got kicked out the game. So
Yeah.
it is what it
then they
is.
won the next one. It's probably me.
Yeah.
We
Good.
went to a fight before with Omar, right? It was me, Mike, Omar. I forget what was that like. Was it Gene, the bigger Brazilian guy? He was like a
He
tanner
wasn't
guy.
Brazilian. Yeah,
What
it
was
was
he?
Gene though. It was Gene.
Was it Gene?
Yeah, I don't know. I think
So
I think he's Jewish. I think.
I forget what those.
Gene
Oh yeah,
Fish.
so he has that darker. Yeah, okay. So when we
Yeah.
went up there, I forget where it was in some shitty strip club, the old school
Yeah.
reality fights. I forget what the shitty strip
Yeah.
club was in
the
North
parking
Jersey.
Like that pit. Yeah, the parking lot. Like
it was terrible.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
go in there, and of course, those old shitty strip clubs that they then convert into a small cage on a fucking stage, and guys are fighting. Right? I think like that night, Dirty Dan fought, and like
Oh shit.
maybe Shoemaker or something, right? I think he fought, or that night, I think he fought the kid from Tiger Showman's, Nick Pace, who was like a big deal, right? Him and Nick went back and forth.
Oh
blah,
yeah,
blah, blah.
that's Dirty Dan fought him. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a
So
rough
we're
night. That was a
we're
rough
all
one for us.
we're all in like the group, and we're cheering for our guys, and in these small shitty strip clubs in amateur fighting, the whole teams are next to each other's teams,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
like you can see which team and which guys are fighting, because their guys are yelling for them, blah, blah, blah. It always gets a little testy. You know how it goes, man. Like
Oh,
next,
yeah.
you hear
Yeah, I missed
all of a
those
sudden-
You want to say it
So,
like you're like, oh,
and
fucking
everyone's-
look at it. Like you're
and
pointing it
everyone's
out.
a
Yeah.
tough guy, right? So everyone
Oh,
and
yeah.
legit has some skills. So everyone's like going back and forth. I'll never forget going back and forth, talking shit. Like we're all trying to yell louder, acting like assholes. Omar yells for, I think it was Dan fighting, like yells very loud and steps forward towards everything. And the other team just kind of took one big step to the right. They were like, oh, all right, we'll yell. We're still going to yell, but we're
gonna yell over here.
now.
Yeah.
We're yelling over here now.
But
I
do
was like,
respectfully
yeah,
now.
pussy.
Yeah.
Now what?
Yeah.
They're like, if that dude leaves, we're beating the fuck out of you. I'm like, he ain't leaving, pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
gotta watch for you
fucking
guys,
great.
right?
Yeah,
Hell
man.
yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah. Never felt more
Yeah.
safe than Matt's dad and Omar were around.
Yo, dude, that is legit the best though. When the two, like when it's like, because legit those fights, it's really just the gym and maybe a couple friends.
Yeah,
Right,
amateur
like-
ones? Oh, God.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
it,
it's all
you
gym
know,
guys.
like those, that kind of stuff. But when
Yeah.
it's like two like crowds going at it, oh my
Yeah.
God, it legit gets so heated. It's pretty great.
It was wild.
It's a tense
Wild
atmosphere.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. My
So-
favorite time was eating after all those, like the
Yeah, going to
tournaments
the
and all stuff like
diners
that.
and
yeah.
Yeah.
Those
hangouts
were
and-
probably my favorite times. Yeah.
Going to the bar and yucking it up and
Yep.
yeah. Even too, I love to when we used to do like when we would like Rich would rent out the Suns or he would do Buffalo Wild Wings or something. And
There was
he would,
another bar her sister used to own, and we used to go there back in the day too. Yeah.
yeah, and he would do it for like big fight. He'd be like,
Mhm.
all right, the whole crew, the whole gym, let's go.
Events. Yeah.
Everyone meets up there and we all have like, it's awesome. And that's too,
Yep.
like where you hear like great stories. Like I remember because a couple of the door guys were like Rich's buddies from growing up, and they were telling us stories about Rich like knocking dudes out with a slice of pizza and stuff. It was great. But okay, so let's keep it going. So you're doing the football and everything like that, but were you still doing semi-pro when you went to Orleans Tech?
Yeah. So I went to Orleans, and then near the end of that is when I did semi-pro. Yeah. So I went to Orleans and learned a trade because my father kicked me out the house, and he was like, to get back in the house, I had to like go back. I had to sign a contract. I had to go back to church, either get a full-time job, go back to school, or learn a trade. So
some good parenting.
Yeah, he wasn't playing around. So I picked plumbing. Because I figured it would be like no heights. I was very wrong about that. Cause ditches are just as bad as height. Like 10-foot ditches are just as bad.
Hell yeah.
And like, I've done work alongside the L, and I've done work on like the Comcast building. So.
And if I remember correctly, isn't your old man like a pastor or something?
Yeah. They call him
he didn't play around.
But he's a reverend.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Damn. He was putting the fear of God in you.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
He ain't letting you slide on nothing.
What I really like about him being that, like he actually like he lives that way. You know what I mean? Like it's not like
he sets the example.
And it's not like he's not like one of them like a minister driving around like a Mercedes or anything like that. Like
those guys
man of the people.
Sure.
Like he always had to have like a real job. While being a minister, he always, I remember like he had a station wagon most of the time I was growing up, and then like these Volvos, and like nicest car he has now is like what they call CRVs or something like that.
It's a Honda.
Yeah, my wife
respect the shit out of that.
He's ever had. It's the best car. It's like a 2012. You know what I mean? Like he's like a regular dude. You know what I mean?
Hey, man.
He really forgives. He actually like there was a situation that actually he had to go through and actually like taught me not to hold grudges. Like I just dropped all my grudges like a month ago.
Yeah.
Carry that
big weight off your chest.
He does it for the love of the game.
Yeah.
Not in it for the glory. He's just in it for the love of it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a great dude. So so he kind of told you put your money where your mouth is. So you went to Orleans Tech and you started the apprentice program. That would be like 5 years. At this time too, is this when you first went to Tiger Showman's? Is that right?
Yeah. So when I got I did it. It was like a year and a half, 2 years.
I didn't know this. You're the Tiger Bull.
Just you.
Yeah, that's what
that was a rivalry for a long time.
Yeah.
How dare you, Omar?
So my first year and a half was at Tiger Showman, and that's the first time I had ever grappled. I mean, besides like in the front yard or whatever.
Right.
And the first time I ever grappled, I tapped out one of their black belts at my first class.
Hell yeah!
Tiger Showman.
Hell yeah!
That's Tiger Showman.
He was my size. It was my size. Like it was. I got a magazine. Like the one I went to was in Willow Grove. That Tiger Showman's, and it was there was a Barnes and Noble in like the same strip.
I know exactly where you're at. Yep.
So and there was like a Toys R Us there and all that, right?
Yep. Across from the mall.
Yep. So I'd gotten a magazine, and I think it was Oleg Taktarov was in there. He showed a Kimura, right?
Hell yeah!
And I did that. Like it might have been like my first like 5-10 seconds of rolling.
Yeah.
I grabbed his wrist, went over the back, and I fell back, threw my leg over his back.
Doesn't that mean you're a black belt?
Yeah.
Isn't that how that works?
I would 100% said that. I'd have been like, "Give me your belt."
Is that how that works? I don't know how it works.
Here's this one. I get that.
I never got tapped out by anybody at Tiger Showman's. Like
it
was so rough. Like they sent me to like 4 months. I won my first tournament a month and a half after training. And then they sent me to like another Tiger Showman's in Feasterville, like to work out with the instructor there, because he was a bigger dude.
Yeah.
I tapped him out 3 times.
Hell
he
yeah.
He was like trying to keep up with me, and the last time he had to tap out from being tired.
And again, besides like football or anything, this is your first real experience with grappling, right?
Yeah, that's all I knew.
And you're legit.
So you legit think you're a prodigy.
That's what I was just gonna say, Matt.
Yeah,
you're just like in your head, you're like, I'm fucking awesome at this.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking black belt.
Dude, in the MMA community, people do like shit on the Tiger Showman's just because it's so commercialized.
I didn't even know before you
98%
just
of
said
the
that.
clientele is female.
Kids.
Sorry, Justin, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I didn't even know they did like jujitsu and stuff. I thought it was just
They don't
karate.
do jiu-jitsu. They
No.
do grappling.
Yeah, they do
Oh,
grappling.
grappling.
It's a
Okay,
big
yeah.
difference. It's
Yeah.
a big,
I
I'm
thought
not
that-
even knocking them. Like they're
No.
It's
you were
not the
chopping
same
bricks.
dedication.
it's not even close. Like I mean, they got the dedication, but it's not.
For
It's not the
comparison,
same level.
Justin,
break boards?
it's the Taibo of boxing. That's what they do.
It's the
Like
belly
there's
blanks.
there's like
Yeah.
there's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and then there's the Taibo of it, and that's Tiger Shoulders.
Yeah.
It's like the
Yeah.
Taibo version.
Can you break boards? Can you snap a cinder block?
Yeah.
No, because if you could,
Yeah,
I would have went
actually,
there.
I did break center block before. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell
Oh,
yeah.
you can. So okay, so then after like beating the piss out of everyone at Tiger Showman's, right?
And I still love those guys too. Those are still my guys, but I mean, it's still a fact.
That's where you
It still
came up.
Yeah.
Like you became the tiger of Tiger Shulman.
Yeah,
pretty much.
yeah. You were the tiger, lion, tiger, and the bear.
Their
So
striking is a monster, though. They're that's what they're really.
true.
And they, unfortunately, if you check the record of our school versus their school back then, we didn't win one. We didn't win one of those fights, unfortunately. And we could have, Pete got knocked out by my old instructor. He got knocked out cold. He was winning that fight too. Dan lost to Pace. Padilla lost to, in his first fight, lost to, I forget the boy's name, but he was missing one tooth. And I feel like there was another one in there somewhere. Even though, I mean, we're still better though. We're still better.
I mean, that was also like, that was early
years
days
ago.
of the school. Plus, too,
yeah.
I mean, now it's not even in comparison. I don't even think they have anyone that fights. I
It's
don't
not.
know.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, like they had some good, like Uriah Hall came from their school and Lyman Good. Like those are, when I was coming up, those were the guys.
Yeah, but
that
I
were-
mean,
Remember when we were young too, Tiger Showman's had Jimmy Rivera, who went on to be a big fucking
Yeah,
stud in
Jimmy
the UFC.
was there. Yeah.
So me and Padilla, Rich came to me and Padilla at one point and was like, "Hey, there's this kid. He's
Padilla.
undefeated from blah blah blah. Nobody wants to fight him. He's beating the shit out of everybody." Or Padilla beating the shit out of everybody. Blah blah blah. He's like, "Would you two retards want to fight him?" And we were like, "Yeah, fucking right. I don't give a fuck, right?" And then we're trying to train for it. We don't get the fight, gives to somebody else. And I find out it's Jimmy Rivera.
Yeah,
and then,
Jimmy Rivera,
10 years later, I see him knocking dudes the fuck out in the UFC. I was like, oh my God, he probably would have kicked my fucking teeth down my throat.
you never know.
They
Or I
always
kick him in the
hated
nuts.
Tiger, so some of the guys, they used to have a school in Allentown. I guess they still do. And they had sent some guys down back in the day, like before I started. And they just beat them up. Like Henzo's just beat them up back in the day.
bet.
It was this guy, Mike Stein, who fought in the Ultimate Fighter. I think it was the second season. He was the guy that was crying on the show. Like he was
Okay.
getting hit.
Oh, my
and was,
God.
whimpering.
Yeah.
And then who else went down there? Barzillo, and I believe one of the
Oh, yeah.
finishers, that owned the finishers, Meslani, Zach Meslani. He was one of the guys that went down there also. Down to Henzo's back in the day. Yeah.
So
Healthy rivalry.
yeah. So okay. So then you would end up leaving Tiger Showman's, and then you would go to Henzo's, right?
Now, was that on a request or how did that happen?
No.
Why did you leave there?
I'm still cool with all those guys, but I just wanted to learn jiu-jitsu. So what happened before I left there? Like I said, I thought I was like the man or whatever. So I won my first intermediate Naga after like 8 months or whatever. And I wanted to learn like jiu-jitsu. So there was a school in Northeast called BJJ United, which is in Jenkintown now, under Jared Wiener.
Oh yeah,
And
Jared.
I was going there, and then Tiger Showman's because I was open about going there. Tiger Showman sued me. I had something in their contract, like I couldn't go to 2 different schools. They sued me and like sued Jared or tried to sue Jared.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Yeah.
What jerk
That's
off.
the kind
You're a
of
fucking
bullshit,
jerk
man.
off.
That's the kind of bullshit.
That's old school though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They
Oh,
thought
yeah.
they owned you. So it was. So I ended up stopped going to Jared's and just started going back to Tiger. And then I just still had that feeling. Like I went and did after you went intermediate, you got to go to advanced division.
Yep.
Right. And I lost like 3 advanced divisions in a row, like immediately. Like I was just quick, in front of my ex-fiance.
Oh shit.
Like the guy that beat me, his name, he beat me 3 out of 4 tournaments. Guy named Dave Carter. I had like dreams about him like banging my girl and all. It was bad. Like it was rough.
He legit rented space in your head, brother.
He really did.
Oh yeah.
He wasn't even a big dude. So I was like, I gotta learn something else.
Yep.
And that's when I ended up at Henzo's.
Yeah.
And I did that.
Is that when you got Uncle Greg?
Before that, nah. So Brian Miller. So all right.
Brian Miller is nasty. Jesus. He was there right when I
everybody
Holy
says.
fucking shit. I forgot about Brian.
Brian's the best. So,
oh my God.
When I
And
first
looked like
went
a
in there,
complete guy you would not get fucked up by either. And would fuck you up.
No, neither did Uncle Greg either. Uncle Greg
True.
would be like
Uncle Greg.
Yo, Greg, Uncle Greg legit looks like a grade school teacher, which is what he is.
So when I went there, I told him I was from Tiger Showman's and I wanted to
right away. They're gonna try and because you said Tiger Showman's. I didn't know that. Yeah,
I'm just an honest dude. So
yeah,
I did the class and I asked Brian about face lock, right? And he got pissed at me. He was like, "We don't do that stuff here," and blah blah blah. He snapped on me. And I was like, well, I mean, well, yeah, I'm just asking you a question. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that serious. I'd seen it in on a DVD or whatever. So I roll with everybody, like all the other white belts, and I did fine. And I roll with Brian, and Brian, man,
on another level,
8 times in 3 minutes, and just the last he did, he face locked me. Like cut my whole mouth open. Oh, I loved it. You know, that's great. I was like, I want to get to where he's at. You know what I mean? It was like I didn't even know that existed. Like Tiger Showman's. I'm running through people. I didn't know it could be like that. My legs were all up in the air. It was crazy. So it was the best. You know, and you know, for people that don't know, Brian was Henzo's first black belt in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Yeah.
He got his black belt in 2004.
Before Rich.
Oh yeah, way before Rich. Way before Rich.
Yeah. Rich got it. He got it 2008. I want to say it might have been spring or just started summer when he got it. Because I was up there with him. Myself and Jay went up there with him.
Baby Jay?
Yeah.
Fucking Baby Jay.
Baby Jay.
Is Paper Street still around? Does he still have Paper Street?
No. It's called Saga now. So his wife got a really good job in, I think it's Central or Western PA.
Okay.
So they moved out there, and he ended up, he sold it to some of his students. And they call it Saga. So a bunch of good guys.
Yeah. Good for him.
And and then I was there. Uncle Greg, when he got his that same year. It was near Thanksgiving when he got his. And Henzo, it was the Henzo Gracie Invitational. Back when it was only Henzo Gracie teams that would go.
Yeah, only the schools. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. The good old days, right?
That was wild. Y'all never forget them.
Yeah.
Enzo wasn't there the whole tournament and showed up just to promote Uncle Greg to Black Belt. Yeah, it was decent.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I love Uncle Greg. Uncle Greg is
great
legit
guy.
One of the best dudes there is. I fucking legit love him. He is a fucking great dude. Really great
he's
dude.
On my screensaver, like right now, like it's a picture of him and I.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, that's why I signed up at Henzo was because of Brian.
You kind of got hit with the Padilla complex because Padilla said the same thing. He went in there, got his ass kicked, and he's like, "This shit's fucking for me. Sign me up." And you're like, "This shit, I love." Like, you're like, "I love the being like cutting it rough and like let's get after it." So you were the same way. So you're there. And like, this is like really when you started to mold it. You're like, when you're at Tiger Showman's, you're like, yeah, I'm winning. This is fine. But this is where you're like, this is what I've been looking for. And I found it. And let's sink my teeth in. Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. As soon as I got jacked up by Brian, I was like, I'm not going anywhere else. It's like, this is it.
There's finally a guy that can whoop my ass. Let's go.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And this guy isn't a black belt. Well, not yet.
Brian was.
Brian was
at the time. He was a black belt. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I got there 06. Like around October 06.
Okay.
October, September 06 was when I didn't officially join the team until 07. So I was going to Tiger Showman's and Henzo's when I first started.
There's also what's the difference? Yeah, what's the difference between the people handing out the black belts to the Tiger Showman people versus the black belts that are getting handed out? You know what I mean? Like
at Henzo's?
It's different. Like so the Tiger Showman, their black belts are legit. Like I'm sure if I had done like some stand up, even though back then my hands, at least I feel like my hands were good.
I guess if
it was like stand up
in different
categories. They really beat me up probably standing up back then.
So you could have like a grappling black belt, or you could have a jiu-jitsu black belt, or you could have I don't know what other categories there are, but you could have a black belt.
Change their name. Like when I first started, it was Tiger Showman's Karate, but they were in the middle of transitioning to being called Tiger Showman's MMA, right? Because they were one of the first schools to try to make that their curriculum was grappling and stand up. I mean, did they do it well? I mean, not really at the time.
I just didn't know. I didn't know how it works.
Yeah, but their test was tough. It was like you had like a minute or two to do like 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups. You had to spar against a couple people standing up. Then you had to do some matches on the ground. Like their test is like, it's a legit. Not everybody's gonna get a black belt in Tiger Showman's. I mean, I didn't go that far. I mean, I stopped doing stand-up there after 3 months, I was just rolling all.
Yeah. Do you remember when you would do the boxing training when I was teaching the boxing?
Yes, yeah. That was what, 09 or something like that?
Something like that. Yeah. But I remember you were doing it and we'd do like leg raises, right? And you're so big that when you would lift your leg up and you'd sit back down because you're sweaty, it would sounded like you farted. And there was
I was farting though, for real.
You probably, I mean, but there was this bitch in class that was like, what is going on? Like, she was just losing. I was like, relax, lady.
Yeah, that's how big I got. That was when I got so I until I got married, I never got over 300 pounds.
Marriage will do that to you, brother.
And listen, in 2 years I put on 77 pounds. I got to 377 pounds in 2 years.
Damn.
My first 2 years of marriage. Yeah, that was rough. I haven't been able to get out of 300 since.
Yeah.
Rough, man.
I've been over 3 a couple times.
That's what they'll do to you.
Yeah.
You're eating good.
No, dude, when you're like you don't want to work out, like you just want to hang out and do nothing, play video games, get laid every once in a while. It's just like, what the hell else are you gonna do?
Eat steak. Like we were in steak and
bro, like
fries,
stuff. Oh, and going out to dinner, you're like, we're getting appetizers, entrees, desserts. Like you want to get all that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you earned that.
Oh,
you earned that 77 pounds.
Oh my god.
Definitely did. Yeah.
But
that was so. Uncle Greg came in the picture like a month after training. Like so I guess Brian must have mentioned, said I was a pretty athletic big guy or whatever, and he came to me the one day and was like, hey, I got a group of guys, and I was wondering if you wanted to work with us. I need a guy your size. I heard Brian says you're doing pretty well. He's like, why don't you come in? I think I had to get there about like 4:30, and it was just him and I. And he was like, we'll do a private lesson, you and I, and then the other guy come in at like 6, and then we'll roll.
We'll get the work in.
Yeah, and I jumped at that, man. Like, first of all, I thought I could beat him. So I jumped at that.
You were mistaken.
Yeah,
definitely. So
at that
when
level,
I first started, he was like, the first time, it was like I said, it was just him and I in that basement. And he was like, everything you learn from Tiger Showman's, forget it.
Yeah. Just like, honestly, it's exactly what you were telling your son earlier.
Exactly. 100%. Yeah. I love those lessons because I got experience and I can pass it on to my to my kids.
Hell yeah.
And I could have been a butthole and be like, nah, I went Naga before. You know what I mean? Like, best thing I ever did.
Yeah.
I said one of the best things. Yeah.
Dude. Do you know how many times I've had to do that at Henzo's when people come in that have like prior boxing experience, and I'm like, bro, I don't know what fucking garage you learned this in, but this ain't how you fucking do it, dude. And like, it does take like smacking him around a little bit to be like, look, dude, do you want to keep doing it your way or fucking or do it the right way? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to be a dick, but I'm not like, you're not getting better. So fucking figure it out.
Remember, there's a few there. You play sports. You don't play wrestling. You don't play jujitsu. You don't play boxing. You don't play none of that shit. It ain't no playing.
No.
Right.
Yeah. Do it right or don't fucking do it.
I was receptive to it immediately. Like, he didn't have to ask me twice. So, like, it was like immediately I was down for it.
Dude, you honestly, +2 back then, like you would have to drive 100 miles in each direction to even come close to find that caliber of instruction. Probably even further. New York was probably the only other place, right?
Yeah.
Like at that time, like you could only go to New York.
You had Rosendo Diaz, but it's not.
Oh, that's true.
You got Almeida, maybe.
Ricardo. I mean, the Maglowese brothers out in Philly were still banging around back then, right?
To get that type of one-on-one personal instruction,
it's hard.
Get it, dude.
Like, it's not even like like, and not even because that's where I came up at. Henzo's was the best. It's not wasn't, and Uncle Greg, he started that group just so we could beat Brian, which nobody ever did.
For real, just that lethal.
Oh, Brian was
dude, like, listen, he would do stuff like of course he rolled with his eyes closed, but he would do stuff like, all right, There's 15 seconds left.
Freak.
I'm gonna get a Kimura on your right arm. Don't let me get it. And he was gonna get it. It doesn't matter what you did. He was whatever he wanted. Like
Call a shot.
I've never seen anybody have him like in actual danger unless he started out there.
Really?
Period. And I've trained some really good black belts. Yeah.
Is he like that flexible and like
just a monster? Like the two best black belts I've ever trained with are Rob Schreier and Brian. Like and Rob is very creative. Brian is technically sound. Like that dude is by the book. And it's like, the technique was so good. Like he felt stronger than me. Like he felt like how he should have looked like how I, what I mean? Like that's the way it was. Like, I saw him do this one sweep on Gene, where
Gene's a big feller.
Yeah, Gene was big. Gene was
a big
like
guy.
my MMA sparring partner.
Yeah.
Like I saw him, he did a butterfly, and I still haven't seen anybody else do this to this day. He did a butterfly sweep going one way. Gene was up in the air, and in midair, he switched it to the other way.
So he roller coastered his ass over.
I never seen anything like that. He was in the air, and before he even had a chance to hit the ground, he was back up like that. And Uncle Greg was like, what was that? I never seen that before. He was like, yeah, like trying something new. like it was nothing. Yeah,
dude, those are the best dudes, man, that are so comfortable and so free. And that's where like rubber guard and all that stuff that influences the whole thing. That's where it comes from, the freedom to be able to explore that and like be imaginative and come up with that kind of stuff. 100%.
And he was like a legend up there in New York. Like he was like one of their
one of the top
like, he was never a competitor, but like in the room,
bro.
Like,
dude, the room and the tournament are two different places, bro. There is, every gym has got the dude that's like
the practice superstar,
dude. The gym room legend. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere's got that. I don't care. You could be the black belt of black belts. No one's beating fucking Gary. You know what I mean? Like everyone's got a place like that. Like everyone's got a dude like that. And honestly, that's sometimes an even bigger honor to be that guy. Yeah. Like if you're
that's what Danaher is.
That's what?
John Danaher, that's what he is. Like he never competed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The guy's a legend.
Yeah.
He was also a professor at like fucking Harvard or some shit. He got brilliant. He's like a fucking rocket scientist and shit.
Dude, because the shit is such a science though. You need the chestnut checkers on the highest level, right? Like, so to be like the gym room dude, like, and I tell people all the time, I was like, you want to be good at this shit? Come to every class. Fucking you'll be amazed at how fucking good you get if you come to every class. Tell you that right now, babe. So but all right, so let's keep it moving. So okay. So jdub, you good?
Yeah, I have a few questions that I actually like to ask.
Right? Let me do this. So I'll bring it in. So 3, 2, 1. Jalen Dub's random question segment is back and ready. Jalen Dub is here with some random questions. He's gonna let us have it. Justin, are you ready?
Man,
let's go.
I'm gonna give you 3. You give me your favorite.
Hell yeah.
Adidas, Nike, or Under Armour?
Whoa.
I'm a Nike dude.
That's right. That's right.
Wow. What if we threw Jordan in there?
It's the same thing.
Yeah, it is.
Never had Jordans.
Really?
Never. Not one.
I went through a very expensive Jordan phase. Very expensive.
doesn't sound like you're proud of it.
Number 2, Mercedes, BMW, or Audi?
I gotta go with Mercedes on that one.
Oh, supporting the Nazis, huh? All right,
Benz is classy. Number 3, Lake House, Mountain House, or Beach House?
Ooh.
Don't be safe.
I'm a tropical dude. Yeah, I don't like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be cold.
Right to buy the beach boy. Oh yeah.
Our old school sports brands: Russell, Franklin, or Spalding.
Can we throw Champion in there?
Sure.
Now it's like a newer one.
Yeah, Champion's like come back.
Came back.
Champion
I know.
is so fucking bad.
That can't be in there.
I came up with Russell, like a lot of our
Russell.
Yep. Yeah. Our singlets were Russell.
Oh yeah. Your midget. All the midget football jerseys were Russell or Majestic, right? What was all right?
Pizza Hut, Domino's, or Papa John's?
Oh, shit your pants anyway.
They're all garbage.
Papa
Papa
J's.
John's used to be,
Comes with the
used to be
garlic
good.
sauce.
And they got the pepper.
I remember Papa John's, like, I remember eating it, like, back when Holyfield fought Tyson the first time.
97,
that's how far back
96.
Hell yeah.
Yo, but hold on. So I did want to ask this. What did you say? Domino's, Pizza Hut, and Papa John's? Is those the three?
Yeah.
So what, like, I want to do this. So you know how Dave Portnoy does the pizza reviews?
Yeah.
He does them for hot pizza, right? I feel that cold pizza is an entirely separate, like I love, dude, I'll tell you this. I strongly believe Domino's is better cold. Like the next day, a cold slice of Domino's, I don't know. I always found it better.
Can I ask you a question? Better than what? Better than cardboard? Better than eating the fucking pizza box, I guess? Like,
well, better than when it, I almost would rather have it when it's cold than when it's hot.
Well, that's your like Little Caesars, that hot and ready. Like, it's not very good, but if you take it home and reheat it yourself in your oven, it does get much better than when you buy
Every
it.
pizza does.
Really?
Yeah.
Dog, there's no better pizza from North
Papa John's
Wales.
is better cold.
Papa John's is better cold.
Yeah.
There it is.
The cheese gets kind of thick.
Yes,
You know what you're talking about.
exactly. It turns into like, it's almost like I guess it's not a tomato pie, but it's along those lines. Dude, I was honestly, that's gonna be my new show.
Cold. You're gonna review cold pizza.
I'm gonna review cold pizza.
Tomato pie, I actually heat it up. I heat up my tomato pies.
What?
Hell yeah.
What?
What's the
Corporalese or whatever? Yeah.
Corporalese or whatever. Well, corporalese or whatever.
You mean the only one?
yeah. Heating up tomato pie. I can't knock it till you try it. Don't knock it till you try it.
I got two more. Nintendo, Xbox, or PlayStation.
I came up with the first Nintendo.
Say less. Say less.
There you go.
And we'll not finish it off with a little Neapolitan vanilla, chocolate, or strawberry.
I'm a vanilla dude.
Love
There
it.
he is.
Yo, J-Dub, those are great questions.
They are.
J-Dub.
Just trying to figure out who Big O is.
Yo, J-Dub, maybe you should do those every time. Like, those were great.
It's a good basis. You can figure out who your person is.
But like something along those lines, like that was awesome. Great shit, man. All right, well, that was another J-Dub's random questions segment. Now let's get back to the shit. So where were we? All right, so let's get into. All right, so let's just say this. You so we can kind of graze over it. You went to a plumber apprenticeship for 5 years, and you've been plumbing ever since, and you're a master journeyman plumber, whatever it's called.
I'm a journeyman plumber, and I work at Children's Hospital.
There. So there you go. Awesome. We've gotten to that. So now let's get into some jujitsu, because we got a lot of cover and not a lot of time. So you just got introduced to Uncle Greg, right?
Yeah.
You're getting in there. So how do we progress from Uncle Greg? Hit me with it.
Okay. So I was with Uncle Greg, I don't even know how many years, a long time.
Yeah.
And I went from the point where, like, my girl, who's now my wife, where the one time, like, she had like a t-shirt on, and like you could see like her, her bra kind of through the shirt. Okay. I had to make her go change because everybody was like beating me up, like, in the class. I was like, they passed me around like a prostitute. I was like, yo, if one of these dudes say something, I can't do a thing about it. You know what I mean? Like, Tattoo Sean days, I think Adam was there. What's Adam's last name? He does like security and like
oh my God, Adam Shaw.
Yeah, he was there.
He's a great dude.
There was another guy named Justin who was real close with Tattoo Sean at the time.
Oh,
there's like a white dude with a bald head named Glenn, who was like a wrestler. Yeah, and they used to tap me out like a prostitute, bro. It was
Tattoo Sean, bro. When Tattoo Sean would lay on his back and he just start like the windmill in his legs.
Yeah, it's the legs to warm up.
Oh man, somebody's getting it.
Fuck.
Yeah,
here I go.
And you do like that handstand push up.
Yes, dude, he was a bad fucking dude,
motherfucker. Because I'm an asshole. Tapped me one time in the old school like neck crank just to be fucking wild. He put his forearms in your chest, J-Dub, and bends your chin so far into your fucking sternum that the back of your neck feels like it's gonna explode, and you just have to tap before your fucking shit explodes.
That's my brother, man. Yo, it
Sean's the man.
He was a former skinhead or whatever. Yeah. And he put me onto some game, like, that was my guy. He was like, if you ever see like a red 88, you know, they're not in the NASCAR. He was like, you know,
oh my God.
Like, yeah, it was like,
do you know why it's 88?
Yeah, it's HH.
Because H is the eighth letter of the alphabet.
Yeah. He put me all types of like, you know, my wife is white.
I only know that because I saw it in the show. Just FYI, you know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, what? Yeah, come on.
The Joker's inmate number at Arkham is 8181. Haha.
Oh, very cool.
So yeah, you know, and there's a video showing, or I don't even know if his Facebook is still up, you know, after whatever. He did 225 times, which is like, you know, what they do at the combine. He did it 96 times.
Bench press 225 96 times.
96 times, yeah.
So strong.
Yeah, he was a monster. Yeah.
When I first came into the gym, he was still into the power lift. This motherfucker was as thick as a fire hydrant in his neck. I walked in, I was like, with all the tattoos, jdub, this dude's
96 times.
Yo, you couldn't get a rear naked choke because he didn't have it.
His ears went directly to the outside of his shoulder. There was nothing. There was no neck. Just straight to the shoulder.
Lobe displayed.
Yo, but he also was like he had such a great center of gravity and a balance too.
Good balance.
Like ultra athlete, and just head to toe covered in tattoos.
Yeah. I like this is the only part that wasn't tattoo. Was like just like
now remember those days, jdub, I walk in and I see Tattoo Sean who has no neck. I look over and Omar's in a full fucking split, and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking die in here because I don't belong. I'm gonna die in here. And I'm okay with it.
Okay,
they're more flexible and they're gigantic.
Gigantic.
Yo,
you know, funny. So my younger son, he said the only reason I can do a split is because I'm so heavy. He said, "What's my leg so heavy?"
It just does it for
you. That is great. Of course, your kid, the only one that's saying that.
Yeah, I would never say that.
Yo,
I don't agree with it.
Dude, I'll tell you this though. We have talked about like the Renzo Gracie EPA culture, right? And what it does. Honestly, what you just said is the exact representation of it. A former skinhead, right, became brothers with a black man, right? And like legit, you guys are brothers because of the struggle you went through.
Because of sports.
Exactly. Because of that culture bringing it together. Honestly, that's what makes like the world
make it a movie.
Things
I want to see it.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, jiu-jitsu is the spot. Like you get
everyone's equal out there.
Israeli Dave. He was like a doctor and he used to wear
he used to wear the pen shit all the time. He loved wrestling. This fucking guy I thought he wanted to fuck me. I don't mean this. We might have to cut that. This fucking guy was weird as shit.
He might have, you know.
Always like rubbing my shoulder. I'm like, dog, we're at jiu-jitsu. I already got a fucking lane between your legs. Don't rub my shoulder, dog.
He's like, I'm gonna feel your meat on me later.
He's like, you like to wrestle? I wrestle. I was all right. Calm the fuck down, fucking pen boy.
We had Nut Hugger Sean.
Israeli Dave.
Nut Hugger Sean.
Remember when he used to whenever he would warm up, everyone would look over and be like, what is he doing again? This fool. Straight biker shorts, jdub, no draws, and I mean nuts hanging out the side. We were
he was single layer.
Yeah,
wasn't he a state cop or some shit, or got kicked out of?
He was. No, he didn't get. He retired, but he was a state cop.
He was a state cop.
He has a school in, it's called Lipson Valley Jiu-Jitsu.
Lipson Valley.
Yeah, I hope it's still open. Yeah, at one point, so I think it was like 9 schools that were former Renzo Gracie PA like teammates of mine. Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Yeah,
remember he used to do the hip exercise where you come up on your hip to like stretch it. And this motherfucker
he was probably doing it on purpose. Yeah,
hip thrusting.
And Dorito was there.
Dorito's a legend.
Yeah. I see him every once in a while.
Oh, Dorito's been on the show, man.
Yeah, I feel like everybody who comes on this show says and
loves
Dorito.
There. Yeah.
Yo, Dorito, I do love, dude. Dorito is the best, man. How can you not love Dorito? He's just the best.
Every time I see him out, we hang out.
Oh, he's great. He's great. I did love when he was on the show, and I was like, John, anything you want to say? He's like, yeah, I just want to say hi to everyone at the gym. That was so funny.
Hell yeah.
I was like, that's such a fucking Dorito thing. He's just one of the dudes that makes it great. Yeah. So okay, so you're cooking with gas at Renzo's. Things are starting to heat up. You're learning, you're growing, you're experiencing all these things.
Moving up belts,
getting your belts, like getting your reps in. right? Keep going. So where are we going from here?
Let's see. Uncle Greg guys changed. The only constant guys for a while were myself, Uncle Greg, Tattoo Sean, and then Dan Jordan came in.
Yeah.
Who was the meathead you guys used to have? Remember the meathead on the fight team that was all juiced up? Used to take a lot of like Muay Thai lessons with Eric.
Yeah, you're talking about Chris.
Yeah, you guys used to crush him. He wasn't good at jiu-jitsu at all, but he was
he
jacked out of his mind.
Oh my God, yeah. He's
the man.
Own, I forget Chris's last name, but he used to own the GNC in Quakertown. Him and his dad.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Fucking enormous.
He was a GNC.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
he
was.
He was a spokesperson.
Him and Padilla went to high school together for a little
I didn't know
bit.
you went to Quakertown.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He went to Quakertown in Souderton. Padilla did. We had a bunch of killers. Pete, of course, he said Big Pete. Pete was with us for a little bit.
Yeah.
Division I wrestler.
Shoemaker and Zach. Yeah. He wrestled at Drexel.
Yeah.
Drexel. Yep.
Yeah. We had at
Jordan
one point,
would then come in, right?
Jordan
came in later. Jordan came in when I think I was already a purple belt when Jordan showed up.
Yeah, that was about the time.
Because Jordan came right when I left. Yeah.
Okay,
right when I left, you guys showed up. Yeah. You were a purple belt then.
Let's see. Tom the Cop was there. It was a bunch
Tom,
of.
I love Tom.
I don't know if you guys remember Sean Fisher, young Sean Fisher.
Yes. So I see. So last time I seen Fisher, I seen him walking out with Kevin Cater's bull or
UFC.
Calvin Cater. Yeah, as the corner man, as the jiu-jitsu guy. I was like, oh shit, that's fucking Sean.
Yeah.
He wrestled at LaSalle too, which he used to like work out with me with wrestling after, and I would help him with like wrestling stuff. Even though this kid, I could beat him in wrestling matches. And the second it turned to jiu-jitsu would just choke me unconscious. Left and right. He was so fucking good at jiu-jitsu.
Once they turned the rolls off, he was like,
oh. He was like, you know how you took me down all those times? Watch this.
Yeah.
He's out in he's in Boston.
Yeah. Now, that's where he went to college. I remember when he left.
Yeah, it was a shame when he left. He got his I think it might have been like 16 or 17, because he got his purple belt the same day I got mine. Yeah.
What's after purple? Sorry.
Brown.
And then black.
And then black. Yeah. Then
purple, brown, black.
So
no.
It's
white,
blue, purple, brown, black.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I would say
and
after
you get
purple.
stripes in between.
So when I was coming up, they didn't do stripes.
I never got a stripe. Yeah, I never got no stripes.
Yeah.
They do. I think they wanted to slow down the amount of belts they were giving out. So it's like, all right, you're gonna get a stripe.
Like purple and a half.
Yeah.
I think they kind of like, people get disinterested. I don't know if it's like that's an American thing.
Right.
Like if
keeps them focused.
Exactly, like the stripe, but
the carrot.
Like the back in the day, like who cares about stripe? You know what I mean? Like
fuck.
Yeah, I just want to keep going. That's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A belt ceremony is something that's very cool, though. Right? Like going to a belt ceremony.
Awesome.
Like, they are pretty cool.
How long does it? I mean, I guess it's probably different for everyone, but like, how long does it take to get from purple to brown? Years, months,
years. Usually years.
It took me a long time. It took me like
so that's why the stripes probably
4
keep
5 years.
Keep some people involved.
Yeah, but
right.
You got to commit though.
You're not there.
It's up to you. Exactly. Is exactly
if you're
right.
Because of the stripes, then don't do this. It's not. You're not made for this. You know what I mean?
You need to be in it for the lifestyle. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. So it was. I was there. I ended up getting kicked out of Henzo's.
We won't get into it.
Yeah, we won't go into too much. Yeah. But it was like a big exodus.
Unfortunately, it was just honestly a big misunderstanding of it's just a big whatever.
All is forgiven. All is forgiven. And I love all those guys, but because of that, like I ended up at Precision under Rob Schreier for a little bit.
Cool.
Because that's where like Pete and Zach, Sean, and the McDermott brothers. I don't know if you remember them, Steve and I can't remember. I think his brother's name was Mike McDermott.
I saw him.
Mike was kind of like in the background a little bit. Steve was Steve's group was like.
Oh wait, Steve redhead.
It was like a blondish reddish, I guess.
Yeah. I wonder if it was the same.
Saw him, you might know.
I wonder if it was the same Mike and Steve that I knew that I wrestled with at North Penn.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Mike McD. You know Mike McD, right?
Yeah, Mike McDermott.
Yeah. Yep. I wonder if it was the same one. Oh, and
Oh, no,
Steve?
it is. Oh, no, it is. Yeah, it's both.
Oh,
oh, yeah, I was there when they were there.
Their
100%.
dad
It
was
both
a
of their
plumber
brothers.
too.
Yeah, they were both there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Matt, it was the McDermott brothers that we went to school with and wrestled with. Yep.
So they're at Prestige. Is that where it was?
Precision in King of Prussia. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Nice, dude. Mike, Mike is a good dude.
Mike's a great dude.
Really
Mike's a
big
great
fan
dude.
of Mike.
Yeah.
Really
I
big
agree.
fan.
I think is he a nurse now? One of them
Good
is a
for
nurse.
him, man. Mike's
Yeah,
a
and Mike
great
was-
fucking guy.
I never seen Mike smile so much the day I walked into that gym because he was already like a blue belt. And when I came in and started working out, he looked over and was like, this kid used to fucking destroy me in the wrestling room. I can't wait to choke this dickhead unconscious.
You know,
I
it
was
was
like,
good. Their
fuck.
dad was good.
Yeah.
His dad was a monster.
Dad's
it was
a
Mike.
tough
He used to come all the time.
His dad's
Yeah,
a
his
tough
psychiatry.
dude.
So
All
I
right.
bounced around from a couple schools, and in between that time, I was able to receive my brown belt.
So you
Okay.
so you got your brown belt, and now you're
Yeah.
kind of out there. You're like, I know I'm fucking good enough. I know I'm good enough. And you're like,
Yeah,
you want to get it done. Like, this is a mission now in your life. Like, you've been chasing this black strap for so goddamn long that you want to get it. Right. So how are we
it's
doing
like
this?
a porno, but yeah. So yeah, so I knew I was gonna see it through. Once Brian jacked me up, I knew I was gonna see the journey through. You know, I
At early.
Oh yeah. And I knew I wanted to have a school or be an instructor just from being around Uncle Greg, and you know.
So you got your brown belt, everything's going good, but you're on the mission. You need to get this black belt. You knew since day one you're getting this. So where are we going? How are we doing it? What's going on?
Yeah. So I ended up I was at Daniels for a while.
Okay.
Which is crazy because I always did fine at Daniels. And I reconnected with Rich again because he would go down and do some MMA and stuff like that. He was like, come down and do one of Uncle Greg's classes, or you know, he called him Greg, but Greg's classes. So I came down, and I mean, like I said, I was doing fine with the people at Daniels, and he just beat me up, dude. Like he didn't tap me out, but he trashed me. Like he was all over me.
Yeah. Who Daniel was?
No,
Greg.
Oh,
Yeah,
Greg
no.
was.
Yeah.
And I'm not even knocking down. I never had that issue. But yeah, Uncle Greg, he was all over me, dude. It was like a pit bull on me. You know what I mean? Like he didn't tap me out, but it was like he might as well have. He did everything but tap me out. And I was like, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be like. I'm supposed to be an Uncle Greg guy. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
you know,
Back to your roots.
I'm supposed to keep it. I had dropped it. And it actually made it worse for everybody else who had to roll with me after that, because it was like, you know, you gotta be a
Get
certain
some
level.
get back.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you gotta be like, you should be able to tell Uncle Greg guy. You know what I mean? Like, you guys train with him, Padilla, myself, Sydney,
Yep.
as a great guy, Dan Jordan, tattoos, all just monsters. Like, you should know, you know, you're in for some issues. Like, even if you happen to win, which you probably won't, it's gonna hurt. You know what I mean? Like,
you're tough out.
Not getting out clean.
This guy's top pressure. Uncle Greg, you would feel like a 1,000-pound brick on top.
For
He
real.
was, I never
And
felt
he's
anything
not
like
a
it.
big guy.
But he felt like he was 10,000 pounds. It was insane.
Yeah. Even on you, was the hip pressure just like unreal?
yeah, that's my impression of Uncle Greg.
What?
He's like, oh boy, get the underhook. Oh my!
Love the underhook. Always underhooking me. Always. That's funny.
Dude, that's
Always
pretty
the underhook.
spot on. That's pretty good. So, okay. So you went down to Daniels and you get like a come to Jesus meeting, right? And so where did you go from there?
I was there for a little bit of time. I had a buddy of mine named Zoo who ended up fighting in the UFC.
Zoo, yeah. jdub, you actually saw a Zoo fight. We went to, it was Jordan was fighting on the undercard, and Zoo was the heavyweight. Do you remember that one time
At Valley Forge?
At Valley Forge?
Yeah, downstairs.
And he knocked out Bazooka Joe Strickland in the first round.
I think I do remember that.
I think it was first or second. He knocked him out early, but it was and O was
cool.
Screaming.
So you know, at a certain point, ended up reconnecting with Brian Miller. And he ended up taking me on as a student. So I mean, as soon as that was an option, I went directly there, just to train with Brian. Even though it was an hour and a half away.
I was gonna say, how far were you? Jesus, an hour and a half.
Yeah, he lives
dedication
in the country. So I would go there like 3 times a week, and we would do privates. Like Brian is still my standard. You know what I mean? I even now I still try to like do things
aspire to be that.
Yeah, I want my guys the type of I'm an Uncle Greg type of. I mean, I am an Uncle Greg. I always been Uncle Greg guy, but that's like a more like I see what I want. I'm gonna get it, and you can't stop me.
Yeah.
Brian was that times like 10. You know what I mean? It's still a different level.
Now he's with you on the mission of let's go, let's get it. And he's I'll tell you, people don't realize you're putting in a ton of time, but it takes 2, right? He is also, it is such a commitment. If you're the trainer, that's why it's people say all this shit oh, I want to fight, I want to do this. If people come up to me saying, oh, I want to fight, I want to do this, it takes a lot to show me. And for me to corner for them and stuff like that, it needs a lot to show me, because it's a massive, massive commitment on both ends. So he's shown you a massive commitment on his end, and he's so you're all right, let's go. And I'm focused. So how do we progress from there?
Yeah. So after, it might've been 6 months, maybe a little more. He asked me, he's like, so how do you think you're coming along? I told him, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. He was like, "Well, you ready to test for your black belt?" And
Brian asked you this.
Yeah, Brian. Yeah.
Oh shit.
That's a kick in the face.
Yeah, it is.
Don't even test anymore. Dave, coming behind you, hit you with the belt.
Yeah.
I was ready to test. You know what I mean? That's the culmination. You know what I mean?
It's the Super Bowl, baby.
Exactly. That was I was already training in total for 11 years, 9 in jiu-jitsu.
Wow.
And that was the only time I was actually nervous. I was
hell yeah.
Because it was if I don't get this, if I don't see this through, everything that people said about me, there weren't a lot of people said things about me, but things that were said about me, and just the way, I didn't know what was going to happen. I don't want to say too much because where I am.
A decade's worth of blood, sweat, and tears, though.
Yeah,
on the line.
Started no belts.
A lot on the line. Yep, a lot on the line.
Yeah.
I didn't pass that test. I didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
I mean, I really, it was deep, dude. It was deep with where I am, but it was deep. It still does mean everything to me. It was like a couple hour test, and I had to show like 10 things from each position, whether it be escapes or submissions. I had to roll. I had to have 2 guys that were close to my size. They had to be either my belt level, 1 belt above, or 1 belt below.
Okay.
Right. So my buddy Zoo, he came down. He was living in Atlantic City, and he came down. I did the test in Lansdale.
Yeah, at the UFC or the UFC gym. Okay.
He came down from Atlantic City and helped me out. And another buddy of mine named James Booth, who's a Daniel Gracie black belt.
Giant, too. The guy's 6'5".
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
A fucking monster.
And he came down also. And, first part of the test, I'm looking smooth, you know what I mean? I'm hitting all my stuff. And so I don't even know why Zoo did it, but he did like a macho man, elbow drop on my stuff. I got asthma. I've had asthma. I was 2 years old, man. I started wheezing. I was wheezing all crazy and all that.
Yeah, but part of the discipline is the guys you ask to come in, they're coming in knowing hey, you're my brother and I love you, but I'm doing this for you. I'm gonna try my hardest. You're gonna go. It's not gonna be there's no. I know you're going for something, this accomplishment, but it's me. I'm coming after your throat, and
I'm not
this
gonna
is
cheat you.
You got to get through it. You got to earn it today, kind of thing. And it honestly, to be asked to do that, it is a tremendous honor as well.
Those guys are my brothers for life. So in the test, it was after that, I could barely breathe. I was struggling, using my hand each round. And at one point, Brian was like, "Yeah, you want to do this another day?" And I was like, Absolutely not. I remember Zoom
That's
looked
the
at me.
test right there, brother.
I dare you to say no. I would have never said it. I literally would have rather died on that than not seeing it all the way through.
That's
you know, at the end of the test, you have to do you gotta do it. It's a 20-question physical quiz, right? Like where he'll ask you, like, what would you do in this position, and you gotta, show it by the end of the test. Like your body and your mind you're not there anymore. And the last question on the test was, what's the most important part about being a black belt? And the answer is, never stop learning. Some dumb answer. I definitely didn't get that. It was just like something about like spirits. Who knows what I said?
Dude, you're on death's door, bro. Like who the fuck knows what you said?
So he told me I was a black one. It's like, congratulations,
bro.
Ew.
What was that feeling like though? Like, dude, you're looking at a decade of going after it, and like we won't. I know we didn't get into it, but there's a lot of fucking curves in the road, bro.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
There's some fucking curves in the road, but you got past it, you got through it, you mended all fences, you got everything going, you stuck by your guys. And that moment when he says like, "Congrats, brother," did he whip you with it? And then
so the owner of the school was supposed to pick up the belts, and I didn't tell him to pick up a black belt, right?
You don't want to jinx yourself.
Yeah, well, it's not even just that. It was like, if I didn't pass this test, man, there's no way I could walk past that belt or know I was that close, Yeah. Listen, when I tell you my life was based off of jiu-jitsu, especially at that time.
Yeah.
It's everything. It's what I am. And if I didn't make it through, listen, who knows what would have happened. I couldn't see myself, knowing that belt was so close and not getting there. So I actually had to meet up with them that Saturday. That test I took, it was on August 13th, 2015. And I had to take a picture with him on that Saturday. I had to grab the belt and we took a picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it really felt official.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Whacked you on the back and did the whole thing.
Yeah, it's crazy because there's certain things you gotta say are like very big important things in your life.
Ceremony of it.
Have like right up there, like. I don't want to say is getting a black belt.
Yeah.
We get it.
We understand.
We hear you.
I get you. Yeah.
Yep.
No, it's it is. And also, dude, but like I'll tell you this too, man. There was so many times that you could have phoned it in. You could have thrown in the towel. You could have gone on to like tried something new or tried something different. It's like, how many times did you have the option to quit and give up and not do it? And you stuck with it, and you realize like this is a life passion and a life goal, right? And like you were able to get through it and finish it, man. And honestly, it takes a lot of intestinal fortitude and resolve in order to accomplish something like that. And it's a tremendous, tremendous accomplishment. You should be very proud of yourself, man.
It's crazy because I graduated Orleans and I became a plumber and all that, but jiu-jitsu is the first thing that I actually felt like I'm good at this. Like this is
like maybe you were born to do something like this. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it was the only thing I've ever really, I've ever felt like that.
Yeah, made you feel part of something, bro. It's one of the most enticing things about it, for sure.
Now I'm a made man. You know what I mean?
You're in the family now, brother. That's for damn sure.
And it's not something that can never be taken away. And I would say that day was the day that I started Crush Crew Jiujitsu.
So let's get into it. So you get your black belt, and that day right away, you're thinking like, I need to Uncle Greg has been such an influence. Like you want to start being Uncle Greg's for other people and changing other people's lives. Exactly. And he preaches that, dude. Greg 100% preaches like spread the wealth, shit. Like, the best learners are the best teachers. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be doing that shit. Right. So right away.
So I wouldn't be where I am if it weren't for Uncle Greg.
Yeah.
He comes down to the school every once in a while and teaches.
That's great, man.
It's like the Pope is coming or something like that.
Oh, bro.
He's worried about what the mats look like. He's like, is everything clean? Is everything right? They're like, why are you freaking out?
Yeah. He changed my trajectory I hope I said that word right. He
You
changed
did.
the way I was feeling about jiu-jitsu. Took it to a whole nother level. You know, showed me how to coach people. You know,
Yeah.
like I felt invincible whenever Uncle Greg was in my corner. You know
Hell
what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
Get out! Get your shoes out of the way!
Yeah. Yeah.
such a, you know, it's such a great time whenever he's around. You know what I mean? It just, they know what the deal is. Like, they've been hearing me talk about Uncle Greg since
The
even before.
utmost respect.
Yeah, there's nobody like him to me, or just in general. You know,
He's a great honestly, him and dude, like, and I say it about Rich a lot too. They're special fucking guys, man. Like, they are special dudes. They don't make them like that. They're very rare, and like the amount of lives that they've changed just by being them is incredible. And yeah, shout out to them. But I want to get into it. So let's talk about Crush Crew, right? So when did you start it? How's it been going? What's the transition like? And then we'll get into like what's the day in the life of it now.
Okay. Yeah, so the name Crush Crew actually came to me like in a dream. Like, you know, you wake up and like it was just there, like Crush Crew, you know. And it actually came to me when I was brown belt. That's my name school one day. I got my black belt, I went right into it. I had it at the UFC gym for a little bit, maybe I think from August till April. April 3rd was actually my anniversary of opening my own spot. I had my own spot. And I had to get out the UFC gym because they wanted me to like put my logo or put their name, like a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah. I mean, but it's also like they're giving you space, like, you know, they're asking. Yeah. It's all part of the gimmick. No, you were smart to get out of there. Yeah.
So I rented out space from this place in Fort Washington called River of Life Martial Arts Studio. I rented out the 3rd floor. We were there for I think 2 years. I was there, and then we ended up going to a storefront in Erdenheim, which is Erdenheim and Flowertown are pretty much the same thing. It's like 3 miles.
That little bend at the bottom of the hill, right before you went up. It was on the I know where. Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
We sit outside, like on summer nights, we sit outside, like, you know, out front, and watch cops like pull people over. Yeah, they actually did a sting outside of in my building. They did a sting, and had like people like that's a big heroin area. Is Erdenheim, and the detective came in. And they used like my front window and like picking people off. Like they had this guy, like a narc or whatever he is, like call different guys. They'd come up with their cars. He'd buy drugs, and then the detective would read off the license plate and they'd pick them off for everywhere they went. So I was there for a while, and then we just recently, the past like 15 months, we moved to the spot where I'm at now. It's in Flowertown, beautiful spot, beautiful. It's 2,300 square feet. 14 feet ceiling.
Nice.
It's actually the original Acme in Pennsylvania.
Oh shit!
Prime location. Like there's like a movie tavern that's like a minute from me.
Oh, bro, I know exactly where you're at. Right off of Bethlehem Pike. Yeah. Yep,
exactly. Right. I'm on Bethlehem Pike, and they what else is cool about it is. I'm only paying $300 more than what I was paying at the other spot.
And there ain't no heroin addicts.
Exactly. And it's 1,000 more square feet.
And dude, you got
ceilings.
Awesome. You got the deal of a lifetime. What did you go with, Mancino mats, or what did you get?
No, so I got wrestling mats, and then I went with this tarp company.
That's right.
Yeah, Pete Shoemaker. Pete Shoemaker put me onto this tarp company, and I went with them. Yeah, nice. I got 2 mats, yeah. So it's easier that way, you know.
Pete had the end.
So
Pete what?
Pete was the middle school coach for a little while at Wissahickon. So like I would get the high school guys from Pete, and the kids would be like, Coach Shoemaker has like swords and shit in his room, like, and apparently like some belts. Is he like good at this karate thing? I'm like, first off, it's not karate. And yes, Mr. Shoemaker will yoke you out. All right. Mr. Shoemaker will yoke you out. So be good in his class.
Yo, that's great. So, okay. So you got the new school, you got the school in the new building. You're in a great area. You got parking, you got like prime location. You know what I mean? Like dude, you couldn't ask for a better spot. Honestly.
Hell yeah.
And like, you're in a great building that's really well taken care of, really nice. So how are the classes going? How are things going? And like we said in the description of this episode, the link to Crush Crew Jiu-Jitsu. Check it out, man. Honestly, one of the best gyms in the area. Really is. So what's day in the life like there, and how do you like running the school, Oh?
I love it. I love having my own school. I like being able to work with different people, all different walks of life, you know.
Hell yeah.
Brotherhood mentality and the family mentality from like Days of Henzel's with Rich and Uncle Greg and, you know, Karen and all that. And I brought it down here, you know, same type of thing. We all train hard. Then, you know, we all hang out afterwards. We'll go out every once in a while, bust a grub, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the school, I have a kids program called Cardio Crush. We have I'm sorry, it's called Crush Crew Cubs. That's the name of the kids program. It's called.
Yeah, that's sick.
That is nice.
The cardio program is called Cardio Crush, and I'm in that program right now. Like I'm dealing with. I lost a little over 40 pounds since the end of it.
Damn, all right. Oh,
hell yeah.
And then we have a Muay Thai program. We have a fundamentals MMA program a couple times a week. We have Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We do all no-gi Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu there. I still promote the same way. But you know, white through.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Have to.
I'm a good red guy. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we don't need the gi. You know?
Nah.
It is what it is.
Nice.
Nothing wrong with the gi. We just don't do it. So we have fundamental jiu-jitsu 4 nights a week and advanced 4 nights a week.
Nice.
So we always have it. And then we have leg lock Sundays.
Leg lock Sundays. Nice. Yo, that sounds like a rough ass room, right? Like you're getting some good rolls in.
I got a lot of guys who want to be great, you know, and they're willing to do what they
Hell
have
yeah.
Dude,
to,
that's
you know, minus steroids. No
yeah.
steroids.
I mean, dude, that shit's a hindrance anyway.
Looks like I can't come there.
Oh shit.
Some people on Sunday have endless brunch. Some people have leg lock Sunday. It's all what you're into. You know?
It's all relative.
It's what you're into.
Yeah.
One of my instructors that I have, there's a guy named Bill Bryan. He's actually in like the martial arts, or I guess the Karate Hall of Fame. He's like a big name in like he's part of like that secret society group called the Red Dragons. I don't know if you saw
shit.
He's in there, you know what I mean?
I think they fight the Ninja Turtles, right?
Is that... Oh, you motherfucker. You
fucking guy.
That's the Foot Clan. Okay.
Yeah. He's like a legendary dude in that scene. He's got like 8 or 9 different black belts, like different disciplines and all that. It has like an internationally recognized form of karate. I forget the name of it now. And he does like traditional martial arts on the weekends, primarily on Sundays. But I know he does some stuff on Saturdays every once in a while. But so he's at my school also. You know?
Nice. So, no, you got a great crew over there, dude. Honestly, the one thing like I love to see is people doing what they love, man. And you legit love what you're doing. You love living at the gym. You love the atmosphere and the culture you're creating. And like, you're also spreading it as well. Like you're spreading this culture of like inclusivity and hard work and earning stuff and being like tough, but supportive and instructive and like, you know, sticking up for the little guy, like that whole culture, you're spreading that and helping that grow. And honestly, that just benefits the world, man. It really fucking does. Dude,
yeah,
I'm
I
happy
agree.
to see it.
Matter of fact, if you know any law enforcement, I started this scholarship thing. I think it was last year or 2 years ago. So if any law enforcement member, I don't care if it's a security guard, if they sign up at my school, a kid from one of the urban areas, Penland, North Hills, West Ambler, Crestmont, anywhere, they get a free membership to my school. So the law enforcement, they get a discount, a very big discount.
Nice, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, you gotta bridge the gap. You know what I mean? I know, you know.
No, dude. Yeah. The fact too, like, I know we don't get into politics on this show, but like, that's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? Like, and it's honestly, it doesn't like it helps everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, because one thing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu does teach you is to keep a cool head in those situations as well. Right, where you won't lose your shit and you won't make mistakes and like, you know, do the wrong kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it just, and to go from the very beginning, now it makes sense to me. Like how your pops was always trying to help everybody. He was a man of the people.
Yep.
Same thing with you now. Now you're like,
Yep.
you're not only, people don't understand with jiu-jitsu, it's not just like helping a person physically and mentally, that it's all that, but it's also a lot for men, not for women too, but for men, you're almost building a new confidence into them where like you've learned a new skill and saw it and you were like, oh, people that don't know this, like it just brings a whole new air of confidence to you, makes you move different as a human, makes you, it changes everything.
I got this guy named Shane. Shane looks like a serial killer, right? It's my guy. Yo, when he first came in, he couldn't do shrimp. Like he couldn't break fall or anything like that. Like, I saw him like rolling around in pain from shrimping. Like straight up was like he looks like a psychopath. Like he couldn't do it, right? Now Shane, it's been what, a year, almost a year and a half. Shane's walking around with his shirt off, doing push-ups.
Yeah. Hell yeah, Shane.
Dude.
Hell yeah.
Completely different guy. Yeah, he's amazing. He's just one of the many stories, of jiu-jitsu,
Dude, the transformation is a beautiful thing. It really is. It really does.
I mean, like he's like, I could push Shane. He's like, you're not breaking Shane. You know what I mean? He might be different, but you're not breaking Shane. I really love that.
No, that's honestly, and he didn't have that without your school, bro. So that's something like, that's something you can be very proud of. So I'll tell you this, man. Oh, dude, I've been looking forward to this for a long time. Right. And I know Cabot was too. And so is Justin. Like, we love having you on the show. And like, this has been so great. And I know we're all usually in agreement with this, but if you be willing, we'd love to have you back on the show. If you'd be willing.
Oh, absolutely.
Get some war stories out of them.
Yo, we'll get some.
I got some good ones.
Dude, we get another round table going, whatever, man. We could do a jiu-jitsu round table just with whoever. You know what I mean? Dude.
Yeah, absolutely. So, your guys' Padilla episode, that joint was amazing. I had my kids listen to it. It was like 2 hours long.
Yeah.
But they had to hear the whole thing. That joint was
that was a really great. That was one of Justin's early ones too. That was a powerful show. That was a good show.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, Mike's cool.
Yeah.
No,
and I'm so happy that your gym is no gi, because the first time I went in with gi, again, I like gi because it helps you develop the skills you need. And also one time Rich explained it fantastic to me. I was like, I was a wrestler my whole life. I'm like, this gi shit's stupid. He was like, well, you ever gotten in a fight in a singlet? And I was like, no, why? He's like, yeah, well, when you get in a fight in the winter and you wear a coat, act like it's a gi. And I was like, holy fuck, that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
But the other thing is, the first time I went in with a gi, and I not only got yoked out, but I also got rug burn on my fucking neck. I was like, yo, wait. Not only am I getting choked out now, I'm waking up with road rash from this giant fucking tarp that's on me. Like, God damn it.
For people just coming in, just know, like, you're gonna get, your feet are gonna be ripped to shreds with
all the top of them.
Just ripped, and it's gonna take years to build those calluses.
Wait till you get fucking X choked and you want to punch the guy in the face because all he did was squeeze your fucking shit to death.
Oh, bro.
Rick ever tell you the story about how he choked out the biker?
No.
So he used to be a bouncer, and I guess he must have saw the guy had like a holster, but he had it on a chair. So Rich told me he had to leave, and my man, I guess he wasn't having it, and he had kind of called him off to the side, hey, let me talk to you. So he got him away from his buddies.
Yeah,
and my man was having it, and they ended up getting into a fight, and they ended up in a closet, and Rich gripped him up by the cut and choked him out.
Dude, Rich is the best. So,
yeah, motherfucker.
I absolutely love Rich so much, man. I owe him so much, man. He's another one of the Uncle Greg, man. He's a life changer, brother. So, all right. So we're coming to the top of time, though. Dude, this has been a great show. Love doing it. Oh, can't thank you enough for being on. Before we get out of here, is there anything you want to say to the Crush Crew Jiu-Jitsu Faithful fan club before we get out of here?
It's all about the crew. That's what I want to say, man.
Yeah.
It's all about the crew, baby.
All about the crew. Love it. Nice. So, and like we said, we'll have a link in the description. Highly suggest checking it out for sure.
Come by. Anybody can come by and train with us, especially the old school Henzo guys. Anytime
I'm coming through.
Family, come through, man.
Love it. Nice. Will do. I'll spread the message. So, jdub, before we get out of here, anything you want to say to the Dubinators before we roll out?
This is awesome, man. I like that story. Like, the window opened, you're like, oh, I'm getting a black belt. And then along the line, you're like, oh, I'm opening my own shop. Like I love the attitude and the passion. It's awesome, man. It's good to hear.
Great. That's great. Hey, Strong Stem, anything you want to say before we roll out?
I do have something to fucking say.
Love
and
it.
listen, I don't want to brag. I don't want to be like I'm somebody special, but right. So the big deal was, remember when Mike came on the show and I said I beat him in the finals at that tournament? This is another belt because that same tournament, there was an open absolute division, and I happened to beat O in the finals, and I won this belt. And I mean, it is what it is. So I have two black belts under my belt over here that I won in a tournament.
As
That's not fucking true.
As the interview, what's your rebuttal to that story?
Yeah, wait, you remember that, O?
Yeah, so it was actually the day after I got married, and I was not there. So.
Fuck.
It was a UGC.
Yeah.
I know exactly what tournament you're talking about.
That's right.
So, all right. Well, I'll tell you, this has been another episode of the Working Perspectives podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied by Jalen Dub, Justin Richardson, Schwap Game, Steve Cabot, and our guest today was Big O, Omar Cruickshank of Crush Crew Jiujitsu. Crush Crew Jiujitsu, baby. Put them up. In case you're wondering, you can find all our stuff and all our content on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast, and you can join us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workingperspectives@gmail.com, and please like and subscribe so we can just keep doing this show. This is another episode of the Working Perspectives Podcast. Thanks for listening. Stick around for the ad read. Thanks. See you. Do you have a message or a story inside of you that you've been waiting to tell? Have you always dreamed of writing a book, but are intimidated by the complexities of the book publishing world? Perhaps you want to use a book to launch your public speaking or consulting career. If so, please reach out to Scott and Bell Publishing, located right here in beautiful Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Scott and Bell Publishing handle all genres and authors with all experience levels. Scott & Bell Publishing gives authors 100% creative freedom and a higher royalty split. They can be found at www.skotbell.com. That's www.s as in Sam, K as in Kite, O as in October, T as in Tom, B as in Boy, E as in Edward, L as in Larry, L as in Larry.com. That's Scott and Bell Publishing, where the authors go.